In this lecture, I'll introduce you to Dataweave and we'll see basics of objects and arrays. Firstly, what is Dataweave? Dataweave is a JSON-like functional programming language. If you are an object-oriented developer, normally it is difficult for you to think in terms of functional programs. But slowly you have to habituate to write functional programming language. So I'll show you slowly step by step. Dataweave is a functional programming language which looks like JSON. So let us see step by step. I don't want to talk too much of theory. Once we see something visually, then there is some theory regarding Dataweave and how it works internally. I'll tell you later. So firstly, let us get started. Since you know Mule, I'm not going to introduce about flows and all. I'll be directly working on a flow. So mostly we write transformations using transform message component. I'll drag and drop it. Here is a flow created. Of course, we can write Dataweave expressions in many other components like set, payload, variables, routers, etc. But concepts are similar. I will tell you how to write Dataweave expressions inside transform message component. Once I expand this transform message component, hope you know the left side is nothing but the input part where we can define input metadata and also provide sampled input, and output part we can define output metadata. And if I click on preview, here you can see the preview, and this part contains the actual Dataweave expression. Okay, I'll click on this icon to see only two parts I want. Now, in this Dataweave part, there are two things again. Whatever is above dash 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 is header part where we write Dataweave directives, and below dash 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 is a place where we write our actual expressions. The first line here says that the Dataweave version which we are going to use is 2.0, and the second line says the output metadata is application/Java. In this Dataweave part, we can write our variables and functions also in the header part. Okay. Now, in Dataweave, curly braces represent an object. Now you can see I wrote this, and in the preview you can see that the Java type is hash map. And if I write square brackets like this, it's an array. You can see it's of type array list, right? When it is in Java. Basically, if I convert it to JSON, you can see the output preview in JSON, right? I can even convert it to XML, CSV, etc. I'll show you later. Now, I want to create a variable and initialize it with an array. So I create var numbers is equals to an empty array. Inside this I want to put ONE1 TWO2 comma 3. So I configured a variable array. Now if I just write numbers in the output, I can see the JSON. This is an array in JSON. Basically, whenever we are writing a Dataweave expression, it will be translated into a format actually called as Dataweave format. So if I want to see the output in Dataweave format, I can just say application/DW. This looks very similar to JSON, right? Dataweave, as I told, it is a JSON like language. So basically, whenever you write any Dataweave expression, first it will be translated to Dataweave format, and then it is translated to whatever, again XML or JSON, etc. Whenever we are developing something, it is first advisable to make your output as application/DW and write everything. Once you get a preview as expected, later you can change it to either JSON or XML, right? So for now, I'll make it as application/DW. Okay. Now I want to create two more variables so that we can start working with. I want to create an object. I'll paste it. This is one object. As I told you, if you write something in curly braces, it's an object which is having two properties, 1 and 2. Now I will change the body to object 1, the variable value. I should see the same on the right side. Okay. I want one more variable also. I'll paste it. Yeah. So I pasted this under variable. This is object 2 and it has two key value pairs, 2 and 3. Okay. Now I'll just write a simple expression. What I want is I want to construct an object here. So to construct an object, it is curly braces, right? I want an object to be constructed using object 1. So I thought it will be just like this. Inside the curly braces, if I write object 1, I thought it will work, but now it is showing an issue found, right? Invalid input, it is saying, right? Actually, what you want to do, you want to construct a new object using an existing object, right? So what you have to do is you have to wrap this with an evaluation parenthesis. If you wrap this inside an evaluation parenthesis, what happens? This evaluation parenthesis will take each key value pair and add it to the existing array. So remember, whenever you want to construct an object, construction of an object is nothing but curly braces. If you want to construct an object using an existing object, let's say object 1, this is a syntax mistake. You have to first evaluate this object 1. So you have to wrap this inside parenthesis. What is this evaluation parenthesis doing? It will take each key value pair inside object 1 and add it to the existing object. Okay, this is the syntax. Now I can add one more key value pair also like this by adding comma. Let's say 4 colon 4, right? See, I got a new object constructed using an existing object and I added one more. Now I want to create an object array. So I'll create a variable where I'll say obj array is equals to, array means square brackets, right? I'll press enter. Then I want a key called as, inside this object array I want to put objects. So object 1 colon, the value I want is object 1. Okay, comma, object 2 is a key I want, colon, the value of object 2. Okay, now I will use this in the body, obj array. I want you to observe. See, I constructed an array, square brackets is an array, in which there are two elements in the array. First one is one object, another object. In the first object, there is one key value pair. Key is object 1 and value is this one. Object 2, value is this one, right? Now, this is an array, right? I want to construct an object using this array. So how, let us see. I want to construct an object using this array. So first of all, I will write curly braces, okay? And inside this I'll write obj array. No, it's an error. So what I want to evaluate this obj array. So I will wrap this inside an evaluation parenthesis. So what this evaluation parenthesis will do, it will take each element of the array and add it to the outer object. So see here, it has taken the first element of the array, added it to the outer object. Second element of the array, added it to the outer object, right? So understood. Hope you understood about evaluation parenthesis. Don't worry, I'm going a bit slow because these are the fundamentals. So if you are familiar with it, please make sure that you see the video in 1.5x speed, okay? But then don't skip this video. There are a lot of things, important things which you might get later. So then I'll add again comma. I want one more. Let's say I want to again add object 1. See, the key value pairs are added to the outer object. And again I can write another key value pair also, like 4:4. So like that I can construct an object from existing array or an object, or I can add key value pairs also like this. Now let us see some operators. A plus operator first. I'll say numbers. I want to concatenate numbers with numbers again. Let us see what will happen. I'm using plus operator, addition operator actually. See right now what is happening. There are 3 elements in the first array, and the second array is added as a 4th element. Now there are only 4 elements. So whenever you are adding arrays using plus, the second one is added as one single element. Okay, can I say numbers plus can I say like this, numbers plus 4? Yes, see, whenever I am adding plus, whenever I am using plus with an array, whatever I have after plus will be added as next element to this array. Suppose if I write again in square brackets 4,5. 4,5 is one array. This itself is added as one element. Okay. Now, suppose if I want to concatenate, I can use plus plus. So plus plus is a concatenation operator. Now what? It has added 4,5 into the array. So that is the difference between plus and plus plus when you are working with arrays. Now let us add object using numbers plus object 1. Let us see. Yes, the object 1 is added as the next element inside the array. But now if I say numbers plus plus, let us see, it's an error. You cannot concatenate one object with an array, right? Array contains elements, right? If I use plus plus, what will happen? It will try to add it will try to add 1:1 into an array. Will it work? Let us see. Suppose if I directly try to add here, right? So see here, I'll just comment out this part. It's trying to add an object, but not 1:1, right? So actually, if I'm using plus plus, if I'm using plus plus with array on the left side, I'll be getting an error because we cannot add key value pairs into concatenate key value pairs into this array. This is syntax. Now let us do the reverse. I'll add plus numbers. Does it make sense? Object 1 is having key value pair. You can add key value pairs only. You cannot add an array, right? So this is a syntax error. Again, concatenating also, does it make sense? Plus plus? No. So plus plus is like concatenation. You want to concatenate one object with array. It doesn't make sense. In an object we should have only key value pairs. These are not key value pairs. It does not make sense. So addition and concatenation are not working out. Let us concatenate or two objects. Let's see here, plus object1 plus object2. Let's see what's happening. It cannot, we can concatenate but we cannot add two objects. So let's see, I'll write plus plus. See what happened? 1 2 2 3. Concatenation will just add key value pairs of object2 into object1. But if I am just adding, you cannot add two objects, so this is an error. Okay, now let us see one interesting thing. On this object I want to use minus. Minus is for removing one element. Minus 1. I'll just say minus 1. one. Oh, there is no error, but there is no difference, is it? Actually, you need to understand one small thing. Whenever you are writing like this, this expression is equivalent to object1 plus plus. First of all, object2 minus 1. Is there any key with 1? Is there any 1 as a key in object2? No, right? Nothing else. Suppose if I make it as 2, TWO2. Now see, from object 2, this 2 is removed, and then remaining is what? 3, that is concatenated with object 1. Actually, even if I remove the parenthesis also, that is same. So first, from object 2, 2 is removed, and then it is concatenated with object 1. Okay, I'll do a small modification. I'll use parenthesis for both. So what will happen first? Object 1 and object 2 will be concatenated, and from that concatenated object I want to remove 2. So the duplicate 2's, both of them will get removed. See, there's a lot of difference, right? So the order matters. So observe this carefully. These are the fundamentals actually. Once we understand these fundamentals, we'll be able to write complex transformations next. Now, whenever I'm using minus, I'm giving only key, right? But actually what is happening? Key value pair both are getting removed. Now let us see, I want to use minus minus and give only key. No, error, right? Whenever I'm using minus minus, I have to give a key value pair. So let's assume I'm now writing 2 colon 2. See, wherever keys are matched, key value pairs are matching, they are removed. Let's say I will here I'll have 2 colon 3 as one of them. Now see, only this one was removed, right? This is not removed. The whole key value pair must match whenever you are using minus minus. But whenever you are using minus, only key is sufficient, whatever might be the value. Now let us see, I have concatenated object 1 and object 2, right? I'll just remove minus, minus minus, object 1. I'll give a space here. Yep, now you can see all the key value pairs from object 1, 1 colon 1, 2 colon 2 are removed. Only the remaining things. Now let me just make this as 2 colon 2. See, wherever key value pairs are matching from the concatenated value, they are removed, and we have only 3 colon 3. So that's about how to use plus plus plus, minus minus minus. So if you are listening all this for the first time, it might be confusing. See this video, and once you are done, you can complete next exercise also. You can open this document which I have shared with you. There is a lab 01 working with objects and arrays. Here I have given you step by step. You have to type these expressions and observe and think internally, then you will get the confidence. Okay, just go through this and complete whatever I have given here. Up to, in this document there are a lot of things which I have explained. you don't complete this unzip, understanding zip and unzip operators. You complete this exercise up to this part by following this document before you go to next video. I'll see you next video where I'll discuss about operators like zip, unzip and flatten. See you next video.